Zoe Antrobus, as I've always thought it was Antrobus, but we've just confirmed that is how you pronounce it. You are founder and managing director of 4TheRegion.
Correct. Yes.
And 4TheRegion covers Neath, Port Talbot, Swansea, Carmarthenshire, Pembrokeshire.
Yeah.
Good, I've got the basics right. I've done my research. So, we've met a few times, and I've certainly been to a few 4TheRegion events, and we've had a few chats and a few conversations. But I thought it was worth getting you in because we went to your AGM this year, and although we at Bevan Buckland, I think, have been involved since the very early days, since the beginning of 4TheRegion, I was a little bit surprised about speaking to some of the other members about what you do and actually how much you do. Because I think there's a visible face of 4TheRegion, which is perhaps the shows that you do, but what people might not realise is what goes on behind the scenes. So we thought it was worth having a quick conversation. But why don't you tell us where the whole idea for 4TheRegion came about, why it started, who started it, what the ethos was?
Absolutely. Thanks, Gus. Thanks very much for the opportunity. Yeah, we started 4TheRegion back in 2018. I say we, that is me and my colleague and friend, Dawn Lyle. We saw an opportunity because of the different businesses that we worked in at the time, that people worked in silos a lot on similar projects and initiatives, just the county as a whole. So our mission statement is that we want to co-create a happier, healthier South West Wales with a thriving economy. That's a big, bold statement. How do we?
It's very bold. Yeah.
That's not me and Dawn running around going, oh, you need to be doing this. That is us as the people who live, work, play, choose South West Wales as our home, choose South West Wales as our place to have our children, to come together and work together, collaborate to make those things happen. 4TheRegion is a community interest company. We are only supported, our only income comes from people and businesses and organisations who believe that together, through collaboration and working together, we can co-create a happier, healthier South West Wales with a thriving economy. And we do that through a number of different things. We use our social media and newsletter to champion the good stuff that's happening, shout about things, whether that is inward investment that's coming, businesses doing well, or even community projects and initiatives. We use the collaboration bit around what we do is through events, large-scale conferences, or small roundtable conversations. And hopefully when you feel positive about where you live and you collaborate with the right people, that'll really empower you to make good things happen for yourself.
So obviously there was a natural fit day one for us. We have offices across South West Wales. I know it can be sometimes a little bit maddening for a lot of people in terms of the various layers and regional things. And I think in Wales, businesses find it particularly frustrating that you've got UK government, UK-wide initiatives, Welsh government, Welsh initiatives, local council initiatives. Then you've got the capital region initiatives. But we, like many businesses in South West Wales, don't just operate in just Swansea or just Carmarthenshire or just Pembrokeshire. We tend to operate across the region. So was that the thinking behind something that covers the whole capital region from Neath, Port Talbot down to Pembrokeshire?
Absolutely. We've always thought that no white knight is going to come across into the region to save us. So we really believe that we, as people who live in South West Wales, have a responsibility to make good things happen within our own communities and within our own business networks. And so by concentrating on the region of South West Wales, which is really progressing as a region, we've sort of followed the Southwest, the Swansea-based City Deal footprint, where there's great things happening with the projects and initiatives there. And of course, it's the best place to live. And we really...
Well, I mean, as someone who sort of came back to Wales 5 or 6 years ago now, even in the 5 or 6 years I've been here, I can see some beginnings of change, particularly if you look at Swansea and the Swansea bid. There's a couple of things that stand out for me in South West Wales. One is the passion of the people who believe that A, we need to make a difference, and B, that we can make a difference. And the other point, the point you just make, is that South West Wales, we should be selling ourselves as one of the best places to live, work, to raise a family, to run a business in the UK.
Absolutely.
You know, I try and tell friends back in London that Swansea, you know, is the Barcelona of the UK. It's the only city that actually has miles of sandy beach on its doorstep. I'm not sure how convinced they are yet, but everyone I invite here and who comes here is amazed by, by it breaks down their preconceptions of perhaps what they thought of Swansea as a rundown post-industrial town, which it isn't anymore. So I haven't brought anyone to this region who hasn't been impressed by the scenery, by the people, by the things that you can do. So I think there is a massive opportunity here for us in the region to do stuff. So, and there are a lot of groups out there. There are a lot of people trying to do things. The thing that I felt differentiates you guys at 4TheRegion is, and you mentioned it a few times, it's the collaboration piece. So I think there are some things that perhaps you were looking to drive, but what caught me was really what you're trying to do is bring people with similar interests, similar problems, similar challenges together and look at what they can achieve. And when they have things that work, then share those ideas and share that knowledge out there. And that seems to be one of the sort of founding principles of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I always say it doesn't matter whether you're unemployed or you're a chief exec or anyone that lives in South West Wales. We all sit at home with ideas and sit at home and think, wouldn't it be good if this happened? Well, no one can hear you when you're sitting at home making things happen. And our collaborative piece is about bringing people together. The USP is bringing everyone together, everyone with a point of view, whether you work in the public sector, private sector, third sector, or a resident of a place, come and together around a shared sense of purpose. That's when the magic happens. Yeah. Because actually when you're sitting at home with your idea and you come together in a room with other people, you'll find that everyone's probably thinking the same thing. We're all sitting at home thinking, can't we make a difference? Wouldn't this make a difference? And actually everyone will come together with similar ideas and things. And so what we do at 4TheRegion is, what do people care about? So what do our members think? What do our members' staff think? Like, what do they really care about? And that's where we follow the passion of what people really think about. And the conversations that we have at our events are driven by topics and passion for a particular thing. And I think,
and it's noticeable that this isn't a group, this isn't a networking opportunity for, businesses to find suppliers and clients. It isn't your traditional, businesses to meet just to sell stuff to each other, right? Yeah. It really is a member-driven agenda, and it is member-driven collaboration. And I think there are a couple of things which, I think I spoke to some people at the AGM and at other meetings. So I think in the creative industries, there's some interesting stuff happening, and certainly some people are very passionate about what they're doing. I think in terms of sort of farming and food production and eating, I think that's another one of the big things that has come out of this for you, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And you've mentioned some great ones there. The Creative Network. So again, bringing the creative sector from across South West Wales together. Food, again, I think we started picking up that conversation since COVID. The supermarkets were becoming empty, and we realised there was an opportunity to really bring the food conversation, building on food resilience within our region. We all need to eat, so that is a really hot topic that hits everybody's heart. Another thing that we're really passionate is around that procurement and buy local piece. Really, whether that is encouraging the public sector and the private sector to make sure that you're buying local, but us as well as individuals to stop clicking the Amazon button and find out who is on our doorstep, that we can purchase the things we need.
Yeah. And if I think about our own industry here, so professional services and accounting, what we saw in Swansea, we saw the big firms effectively left Swansea probably a decade or so or more now. We saw this migration of skills and jobs first to Cardiff, but then beyond Cardiff back to Bristol, and then with remote working, they sort of dissipated across the country. So we're very passionate about making sure that we've got the skills and the jobs here within the region to service clients within the region. And I don't just look at that as Bevan Buckland, but there's quite a strong professional services industry within South West Wales, but it is quite disparate. But we're seeing a lot of firms now, local firms, are really taking the lead in bringing jobs back that have migrated away, simply by hiring locally, training people, giving them the skills so that we can service businesses locally. And I see that as a sort of one example of exactly what 4TheRegion is trying to do, which is basically trying to build up some critical mass within those different industries, bring the people together, think about what challenges we have locally, and then say, well, have you actually done something that works? And another one I think is a lot of businesses I speak to are now beginning to go into schools and talk to people, because we realise we need to attract talent. We need to get people interested in staying in the region, in the economic opportunities in the region, and some of those sorts of things. So this stuff is, I think it's really important that if businesses are doing something that works and makes a difference in their community, that they share that and get other people involved. And that seems like a core part of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, there's no airs or graces with 4TheRegion. We really love people to bring their knowledge and experience so that other people can learn. If it's working, let's share what's working. Let's learn from each other. And a lot around our monthly meetups. We have regular monthly meetups. That is a perfect key opportunity for people to share what they're doing around any particular topic. But the jobs and skills element, of course, is a really high on our agenda one as well. Again, that promotional piece around jobs and skills, that empowerment piece, people don't realise what the opportunities are here in South West Wales. And that is, engagement with the colleges and universities, and 4TheRegion works closely with all of those. But it's about actually getting into communities so that people understand and lecturers understand that there are amazing businesses in South West Wales that work on a global scale. You can work, and it means you can live in the place that you love and can probably afford a home, and you can have the perfect job. There are loads of really great industries here in South West Wales, but it's just not shouted about enough, and that's really important.
And I think more than that, there are some really incredible and inspirational people as well doing incredible and inspirational things. But the more people that can support each other, we can all do great things as individuals, but we can achieve much greater things together. So you talk about the monthly meetups. Now I know, it's not just get everyone together once a month. I think you branch out by industry or problem. You try and just bring people together that have similar interests or similar passions or similar problems, don't you? It's not just a case of, well, let's just get together once a month and have a chat and then go away for a month.
No, exactly. So our monthly meetups are sector specific. They will often have a theme, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't matter what sector you're from, you will find an opportunity to have something to say around that. So again, it's really open invitation to anyone that would care around that particular topic. So I get this month's topic as the third Thursday of the month is around buying local. So again, that is something that is really close to everyone's heart. I know the construction and development industry would come to that conversation because they really want local authorities to be thinking about their local supply chain, and procurement is always a hot topic. And then communities as well coming to say, well, we're doing this, we don't get enough footfall. There's loads of conversation, and we love bringing that sort of thing together.
And there's no barriers, it's big or small. You talk about, it could be the big construction businesses that are looking to buy more supplies locally, but it could be your small kitchen table business that is manufacturing or is effectively some craft industry looking to sell stuff. It's how do I get to sell my stuff locally? How do I promote what I'm doing?
Absolutely. And as a business in South West Wales that has offices across South West Wales, again, I would say to you, where do you get your milk from when you have clients in for lunch. Where are you purchasing your lunch from? It's just challenging those, like asking those little questions. Are you doing the buying local?
And one of the big things, the big things that this buy local feeds into, it's not just about buy local. One of the historical reasons why we underperform economically in this part of the world is the lack of excess capital, and that capital then being reinvested over time and building up. And there are various reasons for that, but this is why it's important. I think when we look at businesses we work with and suppliers and those sort of things, is the capital, are the profits from those businesses going back into local communities in this part of the country, and building up that capital base is one of the most important things to basically improve the economic performance and the economic development of the region, because ultimately excess capital is wealth creation, and we need that excess capital to reinvest in those businesses to then create more capital, and that's really how we play catch up. And I think initiatives like 4TheRegion promoting that idea are an important part to get businesses on board.
Yeah.
You agree. So businesses out there, big or small, anyone who operates within the region, how do they get involved? How do they get in touch?
They can log on the website and sign up to join the Alliance at 4TheRegion there, or my email address and my telephone number is, I can say that. But
and there's plenty, so basically Google 4TheRegion.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of information on the website. And you've been going 4 years now, is it?
No,
was it
7 years?
7? Oh, it is. Good Lord,
Yeah.
time flies. Yeah, the pandemic has messed with my timeline in my brain. And how many members do you think you've got now?
We've probably got 180, ranging from individuals, so people, just residents of South West Wales that believe in what we're trying to achieve, SMEs, through to the larger organisation, housing associations, universities, colleges, that sort of thing.
And I think the main message is anyone who's passionate about the economic development of South West Wales should have a look at the website, have a think, get involved, come along, join one of the monthly Zoom meetups, have a look at what you guys are doing. And the more people that we can get involved, get talking, get trying to solve some of the issues out here, doing real practical things to help. Because I think you said it, no one is coming in to save us. We need to do this ourselves. I think that and there is the passion out there, there is the knowledge out there, there are the people out there, and if they come together, we can achieve some great things in this region.
Thanks, Gus. You've said it all.
There you go. I've done your sales job for you. Well, I mean, we as a business are passionate about this. We want to be more than just an accounting firm. We do care about the region. We care about directly creating jobs within the region, making sure that we've got the skills within the region to support local businesses. And it's not entirely altruistic, because, the better our clients, the better businesses do out there, ultimately, the better our business will do in the future. And I think that's the same for everyone. The more we can lift others up, it will ultimately, lift us up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a real social value purpose that businesses within the region, that's part of being 4TheRegion, is there's the social value element to being involved in it. We're not a networking organisation. No. We run great events, but we're not an event management organisation. It's very much around that collaborative piece of making a difference ourselves, and actually businesses within the region taking that responsibility of that social value piece of looking after their staff, for future generations, for the well-being and the economy and the environment within South West Wales.
Yeah, and I think I put it even more simply than that. Whatever challenge you're facing as a business, there's someone else out there facing the same challenge. So why not try and have a conversation with them and figure out what you can do? But also, for every idea that someone has got and thinking, we should really be doing this, why hasn't someone thought of this? Why isn't someone doing this? Well, there might just be someone out there who's thinking exactly the same thing. And again, if people can come together to think about their challenges, but people can also come together to raise their ambitions, then you've got more chance of actually achieving something, and that is really at the heart of it.
Yeah, Absolutely. And that's what people have called us, pollinators, because we're sort of the one that sort of takes the pollen around and sort of we're always in a really privileged position for the region where we get to hear about all of the amazing things happening across the region. And putting different people together is a key part of that.
Yeah. And there are some great things happening. And let's hope there'll be many more.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you very much, Zoe. It's been fantastic talking to you and hearing what's going on at For the Region.
Thank you, Gus.